Do you know what has happened, Madam Selina? The video is not being recorded. But anyway, it is alright. They'll be able to catch up, especially from the first video. Okay, we proceed. So I was saying we are given numbers for the year 2016. 2016, that's the 12th October, the new syllabus. I think that was, I said question 5, eh? Question 5, we've been given x plus 1, another term x minus 3, another term x minus 1. So they want us to find the value of x. The first question said find the value of x under geometric progression. We said the formula in the first video, you said T2, you apply this one over T3, T3 over T2. You name these, you name them. This is T1, the whole thing here is T1, the whole thing here is T2. Once per month, don't take it a number or a letter, it's everything. This is T3. You are following? So we said you replace, so let me drag this at the corner here. So you replace the figures here, the T2, we've got x minus 3. The T1, you've got x plus 1. The T3, we've got x minus 1. The T2, we've got x minus 3. I was saying if you want to confirm if you are correct, the diagonal here must have the same entry, same letters, same numbers, because of this provision here. That's how you know that you are doing the right thing. So now, what comes in mind is cross multiplication here. You cross multiply. Okay? You cross multiply. So now, how do we have the cross multiplication? How do we have the cross multiplication here? You say, let me write it in this format so that you are not left behind. So we cross multiply here. We are going to write brackets for easy multiplication, because we also write other brackets here. So we are using this and all this diagonal. It is x minus 3 multiplying x minus 3. Here will be coming. Here it is x minus 1 and x plus 1. Those are the multiplication that we are doing. So now let me wrap this top part. So now we are multiplying the things in here. We are multiplying x minus 3 . Okay, so now what are we doing? This x this x multiplies this x to give you x squares or x squared. Again, this x multiplies this number, it gives you negative 3x. Okay, this 3 multiplies twice. Negative 3 times x to give you negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 to give you positive 9 equals, again, this x times this gives you x squares. Madam Serene, are you there? You're too quiet.
I've muted my microphone. I have a cough, so I don't want to disturb while you're teaching.
But you have...
very much.
Okay. So again, this times this gives you positive x. So x times 1, it's not 1 or 1x. No, it is just x. X times 1, it is x. Y times 1, it is y. And then this negative 1 times x, it's negative x. And then negative 1 times 1, it gives you negative 1, because negative times positive is negative. So you have to follow this attentively for you to get it. So the whole idea is that each number multiplies twice in the bracket, or each entry. We have to do the like terms together, but before that, let's simplify this part. Let's simplify this part, and also let's simplify this part. This part here, let's simplify it, and this part, let's simplify it. So what are we having? We're having x squares. So negative, negative, it means we're adding. So we've got negative 6x plus 9. We have x squares. X minus x, it's 0. So no need of writing it. So we just have negative 1. I haven't written the things here because I'm getting a 0 here. Now here we can group the like terms together. This x will come this side. There's the x squares, so we're having x squares minus x squares minus 6x equals to negative 1. The 9 can go to the other side, so it will give you negative 9. So it's positive becomes negative. So x squares minus x squares, they cancel. It gives you negative 6x equals to negative 10 because of negative. And calculators are allowed. You must use a calculator at all costs. So negative 1, negative 9 gives you negative 10. So we're finding the value of x. It's negative 6 over negative 6. So we are now cancelling there. So this gives you, allow me to wrap the top part here so that we see. So we are saying x equals, so here negative 10 divided by negative 6, what do you get? You get 1 point as many 6 as they are there. There with a calculator. We are using a Zambian syllabus for this video. The Zambian syllabus says when you've got too many digits, you round off to 3 significant figures. That means you just count 3 numbers, 1, 2, 3. So meaning the value of x is simply 1.67. So it has changed to a 7 because you know the rule of rounding off, that if this number is bigger than 5 or 5, you add the 1 on this one. So that's why I've written a 1.67. Or you can also leave it in a fraction form. You can also leave it in a fraction form. It was x is equals to 10 over 6 or negative. You can just reduce it and say 2 here, 5, 2 here, 3. That is also correct. But if we are to leave it in very reduced form, you can say 2 here to give you 1, remainder 2 over 3. Yeah, all these are all correct forms of doing this question, but decimals won't lose anything. It's still okay. So you can unmute and comment whether you've understood on the value of x, Madam Selina.
I've understood.
Okay, so let's move on to the other question, which said the first term. So for us to find the first term, we already have x. Remember, we had our first term, it's x plus 1. Our second term, it's x minus 3 and x minus 1. So this is our term 1, our term 2, our term 3. So for you to find term 1, you just add. Your x is 1.67 plus 1. Again, 1.67 minus 3 and 1.67 minus 1. This is your term 1, this is your term 2, this is your term 3. But the question just said term 1, so we're just interested in this part. So if you add this, your term 1 is 2.67. That's all. Your term 2, it will be 1.67 minus 3, 1.33. Actually, negative. So your term 2 is negative 1.33. And then your term 3, just like that. So if they are to tell you to say, can you find your ratio? This is what you have to do, T2 over T1, meaning you have to put this number and this number, you divide. But in this case, we do not have any question for the common ratio. But you're welcome. We thank God He spared your life. So alalemba ilya civic basa. So you can unmute Madam Celine. Have you understood on term 1 for the second question?
I've understood.
Yes, that's all. Then the last question said, find the sum to infinity. Question C is saying sum to infinity. Remember from the videos, we said for you to use sum to infinity, you use this formula where it's saying a over 1 minus r. A means the first term, which you found to be, is it 2? 2.67? This is 1 minus, what's your ratio? Very interesting question. Do you have the common ratio? No, we don't have the common ratio.
We don't have.
So we have to find on the side r is equals to, let me write it on top here. R is equals to T2 over T1. So T2, if you reverse the video, I have done negative 1.33 divided by the T1, which is 2.67. So let's divide and see our common ratio. Negative 1.33 divided by 2.67. So we are getting negative 0.49812734. Calculators are allowed. Remember, Madam Serene, according to our Zambian syllabus, we are doing 3 significant figures, 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. So we have to say negative 0. The 8 can change the 9 to 10. We don't write 10, we write 0. So the one word here, so it's negative 0.50. So that becomes our answer. Negative 0.50 is our our answer. Okay, so our answer there is negative 0.50. So it's the one that we are putting here, negative 0.50. So I can erase this. So it's just a matter of now following up to say sum to infinity is equals to 2.67 over 1. Negative, it's a plus. So plus 0.50. And then lastly here we have sum to infinity equals 2.67. We are dividing by, so if you add it to, it's 1. 1.50. So let's divide now using our calculators. Let's divide. 2.67 divided by 1.50. We are getting 1. We are getting 1.78. That becomes our answer for the sum of to infinity. So that's how the topic ends. Any question? So allow me to share the screen for questions that you must capture. The questions that you must capture.